Hello YouTube, welcome to my channel. I'm Kessler still and you're watching EV Ascension. So I wanted to make a video relating to EV preconditioning. So I have a 2024 EV6 Win Edition all-wheel drive long range. Right, so I wanted to know like if I have a cold battery and don't drive like uh, too long, and I wanted to know how long will it take me to fully preconditioning the battery, so I can accept for the station to give me the full power the car can take, or depend on the solar I use, either 150 or 350 kilowatts. Right. So what I did, I use OBD2 scanner to pretty much take most of the data. Um, I use this one, the VPeak OBD2 scan tool from Amazon. I bought it from Amazon, so um, depend on how much it costs. So I keep seeing this price change a bit, so I don't really know how much it costs. So it might cost you $20 to $50 or less. So there's a big range. Amazon sometimes keep changing the price on this. So yes, so I wanted to make the test and see how long the battery, if I have a cold battery, how long will it take me to fully preconditioning it. So based on the data I recorded, take about an hour, I think. Um, yeah, so when put the scanning tool into the system, my battery main temperature was 15.8 degree Fahrenheit, so about 16 degrees. Right, so I have the max here. The max usually don't really give you too much information because this is the most important information that you need, right? So if you're creating a portal or page, I think there's multiple pages that you can create. So I would say remove this, and in future setup, I will not include the max temperature because I may leave it, but it's not really a good information to know. Yeah. Hey, if your battery is like super warm, yeah, maybe you may need it, but the the main temperature of the battery is the most important value here. Right. So this is when I plugged the scanner and got this information. So my battery man was 15.8 degree Fahrenheit. So about an hour or so, like, yeah, I think I started like 4:52. I don't remember if I started preconditioning the car right away, but about an hour. Also, the battery reached 68 degree Fahrenheit. So this is the temperature the Kia, Hyundai, Genesis cars would pretty much take the full capacity of the charging station. Right. So after 69.8 degree Fahrenheit, the preconditioning stopped. Right. So my battery at this time was about 38%, and the battery man reached 69.8 degree Fahrenheit, and the preconditioning stopped. Right. So you see the curl sign in the battery system and the dashboard. It stopped, and then uh, when you look at the electricity used, you can see this turn to zero because it's not preconditioning anymore. And you can also see here when it stopped, the temperature of the coolant or the battery heater start decreasing. So before, when it reached 68, it was 104 degree Fahrenheit. And then when the preconditioning stopped, the temperature started to lower. Right? So yeah. So this information, I don't think it's too useful, except for this. You can tell that it's not preconditioning anymore, because this value you see here it's 59%. But if you had your car, um, if you were already driving somewhere, and depending on how much drive you took, like how long you were driving for, um, this this percentage may be 15 or 13, right? Because this is not really that much important, right? So I would not just, if you don't have the scanner, I would understand, because before I had the scanner, I used this to know that the preconditioning started, but I never see it stop like that except when it reached 20%, like the battery of the car, not this. The battery of the car reached 20% and the preconditioning stopped, because um, if the car is not preconditioning enough and you reach the station, you either reach the station or you close to the station or you're on the way. If the percentage of the battery, if the battery state of charge is 20%, everything will stop, because uh, the system will not let you use the charge in the battery to warm it up, right? So the best way to do this, I would say, like if you want to wait, you have to wait till the battery is at 30%, like this. The state of charge of the battery is 30%, and then you can start preconditioning. And by the time you 20%, you're pretty much either done preconditioning the car, or you'll be warm enough to take the full charge. All right. So when I get to 69.8 degree Fahrenheit, the preconditioning stop. You can see the battery state of charge was like about 35%. And then I drove to the station and had to wait. You know, in my location, this thing's pretty much packed up every time. And also, this is the only EA station in my location. Um, there's a Tesla downtown, but that one you can't connect to it because it's just Tesla. And there's another Tesla like about 30 miles away. Yeah, that was not gonna happen. You know, there's a few charge points around that you can charge, but they all over the place in the sense that they far apart. It's just like when you go to a charge point station, it's just one stall, and most of the time you'll have more than one uh, person waiting to charge. So it's not really good. Like I would say the ES station here in that location need to expand, because this parking lot is very big, and there's a few spot on that side. There's a few spot on that side. I would say like if EA was really thinking about us, they would expand this, because they could tell that every time someone disconnected, someone else connect right away. So yeah, so I had to wait a while to be charged. So when I get there, I had these people waiting, and there was two other car waiting. So this one there's a leaf behind it that you can see on that side. And okay, but before I move on, let's talk about these cars, because none of them uh, were preconditioned. So the Mustang, so this is a Mustang Mach-E, and when I reached there, like the charging was about 90 something percent. So I can't really tell about this one. Neither this one, because when I arrived, I waited for I think about 30 something minutes, and this guy went to the Walmart close by and then came back and moved out. And the Leaf used the channel in that station. So this guy left a few minutes later. the that guy was supposed to use it, but he went somewhere else, so I took this spot. So I used this. So this ID4 was there. I started charging and left it was still charging. All of these were still charging. After a few minutes, I think when I about to exit the entire parking lot, I saw this guy move and someone else took this spot because yeah, none of them. If this if this one was preconditioning, I should have not left the charging station while it was still charging because it was still charging when I left. The Solterra, oh boy, Solterra. Why? Why Toyota? Why Subaru? The Solterra was there and 20%. It was still stuck at 20%. I I waited. It was 20%. I connected to the station. It was 20 something percent. And I when I left, it was 20 something percent. This is terrible, guys. I don't know. You guys should not be buying this thing because if they just give it to you for free or something like that, and then you have a home charger, then you'll be good. But if you have to use a charging station, public charging station, you're in big trouble. I used to have one. I mean, not really have one. I rented from Hertz, and this thing take way too long to charge, even when it's warmed up. Right, so when I get there, I plugged in, so because I had to wait, right? So I get there like around, um, I don't remember the time. I think it was 6:20 something, or yeah, something like that. When I connected to the stall or to the station, my battery main temperature was 66.2 degree Fahrenheit, and the state of charge of the battery was about 35%, 34.5%, right? And the temperature outside was negative 1.3. Yeah, it was super cold, guys. And yeah, so I connected. It was 66.2 degree Fahrenheit, meaning like the battery started to decrease. Like it was warm, but it started to decrease because it was very cold. So it was negative 1.3 degree Fahrenheit, so about negative 2 degrees. Then when I connected, it lost a few percentage, a few degrees, and it was still negative, about negative 2 degree Fahrenheit. So super cold. I recorded a video to show the Electrify America system to show you how fast the charging station was charging my car. And so if I play this, I'm gonna skip a lot of things here because I don't want to play 24 minutes of this. So it started to initialize, and I think by now the car is saying charging started, and by the time you reach like it pop up here, one I think about 2% was already uh, put in the car. So you can see about I think let's see. I don't want to skip most of it, but it's gonna pop in a few seconds. Yeah, okay. So 36%. So I reached there. It was 34, like about 34.5. So by the time 1 minute passed, 2% charge was already added to the battery. So by the time the screen refreshed, 2% had already added to the car. And you can see here, I was connected to a 150 kilowatt charger. 1 minute past 120 kilowatt speed, right? So the charging speed didn't decrease at all. And because the battery was warm enough, it accepted most of the charge and it keep increasing. And so you can see here, I'm gonna continue playing this, and you can see it's keep increasing. So by 2 minutes, I'm 39% and 126 kilowatt. You can see by 41%, like 3 minute pass, and I'm at 170 kilowatt, 73 kilowatt. Right? So even though the stall is 150 kilowatt, but the EA station stall, those uh, can surpass 150. Only the 350 kilowatt stall keep giving problem, and I don't know whenever I charge to a 350 kilowatt, I always have problem. So the 150 always gives me good result. Yeah. So 5 minute pass, 48%. So I'm almost done already. Right? So 150. Keep increasing. So I was playing with the system, so I keep going back and forth between this page and the OBD2 scanner page. And okay, so so in 12 minutes I'm at 67%, 129 kilowatt. But kind of decreased a little bit because the battery was pretty much close to 80%, so it's gonna start decreasing a little bit. So it picked up a little bit again. So you know how E station work with the E-GMP cars. So by 14 minutes, yeah, I was playing with this thing to make it look better. By 18 minutes, I reached 80%. So 80%. So my battery was about 35% when I charged in, and in 18 minutes, I got to 80%. I I could have start here, but uh, I I live like about 5-6 miles away from the station, so I usually leave it to 90% because it doesn't take too long to reach 90. Okay, so let's see. Do I see it here? So now the EA station told me that the battery reached 90% and I'm fully charged. It should stop here. And now my Kia Access told me that my battery is fully charged. I go back to the page. Yeah, I was still playing around with this thing to make it look a little better because I wanted to see all of these things in the same writing and stuff. Yeah, so yeah, the ES station, go back a little bit. Yeah, so usually, even though the battery will say 90%, the EA station will read it like a few seconds late. Yeah. So 89% will show up. Every time I do it, it still says 89%. Yeah, charge stop. Yeah, so at 90%, I'm at 52 kilowatt. Yeah, so I created this test to see how long it will take me to charge a cold battery because my battery was at 15, 15.8 degrees Fahrenheit when I connected the scanner. So this is the scanner I use. When I connected it, it was saying 15.8 degrees Fahrenheit. So about 16 degrees Fahrenheit the battery main temperature was. Right? So it was a very cold battery. And the temperature outside was super cold too. Yeah, by the time it's 68%, 68 degree Fahrenheit, so about an hour passed, and I didn't want to drive uh, like around and spend time driving around because it was cold and I didn't want to be driving that much either. So yeah, so the battery temperature was 68% when I pretty much reached full preconditioning, and at 69.8 degree Fahrenheit, the preconditioning stopped. When the preconditioning stopped, this will say 0. And if you have the scanner will show the either the coolant temperature of the battery heater low, like about two degree less, no more than that. So this will decrease from 140 degree Fahrenheit to, yeah, the coolant temperature too and the battery heater is pretty much the same thing in a sense. Yeah, you're gonna see some plus minus discrepancy between them, like about 1 or 2 degrees, but it's not gonna be much. Yeah. So at this temperature, 69.8 degree Fahrenheit, everything stopped, and my battery was at 38% or 37.5%. Right. So if you do this, this is a rare case. I know some people do that, like uh, they let their they don't really drive much and waited till the preconditioning stopped and stuff like that. But if you were driving and like for a while, like about 30 minutes to an hour, and you put the preconditioning mode on when you put the destination for the charger, it's not gonna take too much, right? So it will take way shorter. So sometimes it take me about 15 minutes, 15 to 30 minutes or less. But I wanted to do this and see how long it would take me. Like it took about an hour to fully reach preconditioning mode in the preconditioning cell. And when I got home, the battery temperature was about 73.4 degree Fahrenheit, and the battery state of charge was about 87%. Not too much from 90%. Right? Yeah. So depending on how you do it. So sometimes, most of the time, I'll say, even me when I drive, most of the time I would drive or wherever I'm coming from or whatever it is. Now, on my way home, I put the destination, the preconditioning start, and then about 15 to 30 minutes, it's ready to fully charge at the grade the car can take, right? So I want people to do that so that they don't have to wait like these people. And so the software I cannot do it because I think the newer model can preconditioning a little bit, or you can accept charge at a higher percentage. I don't remember what the deal with the software, but this guy was charging around 20% when I got there, when I started, and when I left. It was still at the 20% range. Kona was a little bit, but Kona doesn't have. I don't think this one has it. The Hyundai has it, but this guy didn't really preconditioning his car enough if he did it, because he should have left before I started charging. The ID4 was okay in the sense that he had enough good charge left, but I don't know how long he was charging because when I got there, I waited to charge about 30 something minutes. No, not 30 something, like 20 to 30 minutes, I think. So it should have left before I connected. When I connected to this guy left. I took his spot. All of these people were still charging, and so except for the Mustang and the Honda. The Mustang was like close to 100%. This, I don't know how much charge he had, but I don't think he took enough charge. And his car was not preconditioned because he shouldn't take him that much to charge. Because it took me about 20 something minutes, 23 minutes to fully charge from 37%, not 37, 35% to 90%. And so if you have preconditioning, try to find a way or test your system to see the best way to use preconditioning, because it will help you not to stay too long at these things. And the temperature outside was super cold. By the time I got home, the temperature was about negative 2.2 degree Fahrenheit. Right, so chilly cold. All right, okay. I think that's it. If I don't know when I'm gonna create another video, but this was EV Ascension, and see you guys some other time. All right, take care, guys. Preconditioning your car, and if you don't have preconditioning, I would recommend to not charge your car when the temperature outside is 32 degree Fahrenheit. All right, so it will save you time, guys. All right, take care. Bye bye.